Israel united in Christ, here to teach you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who you are according to the Bible.
That's right.
Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
No.
Because what we come out here every Sabbath is to teach you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who you are according to the Bible, and that your pastors have been lying to you. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 17. For Christ sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel.
So the Most High God and His Son Christ sent us to teach you blacks and Hispanics this gospel, this Bible. Read.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 17. For Christ sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with wisdom of words.
Not with wisdom of words. We're not going to give you smooth, swelling words. We're going to give you this Bible uncut. Read.
Lest the cross of Christ should be of none effect.
Because it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with this Bible. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's prove out of the Bible that you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of God. You are the Israelites according to the Bible, not according to what we think. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these curses that we're going to read about, we're going to come upon the Israelites for not keeping God's commandments. Let's see who these curses fit. Give me 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in this city.
So cursed shall thou be in the city. Every city you go to throughout the world, you find blacks and Hispanics at the bottom of society.
Right.
At the bottom of all these different kingdoms. Our people are at the bottom because we have no knowledge of the laws. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And we were cursed in the fields, picking cotton, picking sugar cane, because we broke the commandments of God. Read.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
So our businesses will be cursed. All throughout the black communities, throughout the world, you go into these stores are not owned by your people. We're giving our money, we're giving our resources to another nation. Read, give me 37.
This is verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So we were going to become an astonishment and amazement to the other nations. Read.
A proverb,
a stereotype. Read.
And a byword.
A byword, African American, Gentiles, Hispanics. These are not your names. These are not the names that God gave you, blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
You were called much greater than this.
Right.
But we fell from our kingdom. We fell from our heaven because we wanted to follow the other nations and disobey the Most High God. Read.
Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32.
What are we proving? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the Bible.
Right.
Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So whose sons and daughters were given to another race of people? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's how you got here. Matter of fact, read how we got here. This is another curse that was put upon the Israelites for breaking God's commandments. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Most High God was going to bring you blacks into slavery again. But this time by way of cargo slave ships.
Right.
What are we reading? The Bible. The King James Holy Bible. This is your history, black man. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We weren't going to see our homeland again. Read.
And there you should be sold unto your enemies.
So what happened to you blacks and Hispanics when you got to this land? You were what?
Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
We're reading out of the Bible. Your history out of the Bible. Give me 34.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So we were going to be scattered. How? We just read it by way of cargo slave ships. Read.
From one end of the earth even unto the other.
And when you look at the history of the transatlantic slave trade, we were sent to all nations. Read.
Bring it up.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
What we're going to do when we come here?
Serve other gods.
White man Jesus is another God. That's not in the Bible.
Bring it out.
Read.
which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood.
That's that white man Jesus, that cross. Read.
In stone.
And your Islam is not of God. That's not of the Most High God. That's an Arab man's religion.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
So we have found no rest among these nations because they've been beating our backs in since we got here. Read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Because you never know when we're going to be put to death by these cops, by our own brothers. Read.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
A trembling heart. We were going to be weak. We're going to be weak and have sorrow of mind because we didn't want to keep God's commandments. We become lost to our nationality. Give me that in Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 5. How do we become lost? Who's leading us the wrong way?
Bring it out.
Is it this Bible or is it your so-called Christian pastor? 50 and 5.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 5. They shall ask the way to Zion, which their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Verse 6, my people have been lost sheep.
So God's people have become lost sheep. You blacks and Hispanics are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Read that again.
My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Your Christian pastors have caused you to go astray. These are your shepherds that have caused you to go astray. They're taking your money. They're robbing the black community blind, and they're not setting up any businesses. They're not setting up any schools. They're not teaching the people how to heal themselves. Read that again.
Verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains.
So they've turned you away from this Bible. They've turned you away from the laws of God. They have turned you away from the way to salvation by their traditions, by their religion, by their Sunday worship. That's not in the Bible. Read. And you know that?
No, it's more. They have gone from mountain to hill.
We're searching all around. We're reaching for everything. We've gone atheists. We've gone to Catholicism, Islam, but we have not come to the laws of God. We have not come to this Bible because our pastors have destroyed the minds of the people. Read.
They have forgotten their resting place.
And they've forgotten their rest. The Bible is our rest. The laws of God is our rest. This is how we have peace. This is how we stop the STDs in the black community, by following the laws of God. This is how you put a father back into the house, by following the laws of God. Read.
Verse 7.
No, give me Isaiah 1 and 3.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Because what we have to do is come back to the laws of God. Come back and learn how to raise our children the right way. Learn how to put a father back in the house, a mother in righteousness. Let's read it. Read that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So the Most High God is comparing the children of Israel to an ox, which is a dumb animal. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
So the ass, the jackass, knows where his homeland is. Read.
But Israel does not know.
But you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have no idea that this Bible is yours. That the Most High God, the only true God, is your God. That Israel is your homeland, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Bring it out, bro.
That's what we have. That's what we don't know. This is what we've been destroyed from.
Bring it out.
We've been destroyed from that in slavery. Read. Matter of fact, give me go back to Deuteronomy 28.
Bring it out.
But we're going to continue to show you. You have to understand that first, you are the people of this book, and that these laws pertain to you. So give me another one. Give me
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 46. And they shall be upon thee. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So these curses that we're reading about, we're going to overtake the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans until we're completely destroyed, completely lost to our nationality. Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't want to listen and do what the Most High God had us do. Read.
To keep his commandments.
You want to do what?
To keep his commandments.
That's what your Christian pastor tells you every week. When you go in his church, he's telling you the laws are done away with. Homosexuality is okay. Read.
In his statutes, which he command thee. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So the curses were going to be upon you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for a sign and for a wonder. Read.
and upon thy seed forever.
And upon our children forever.
Right.
That's why you think we reading the history book, a different history book, but we actually reading the King James Holy Bible, which is the history of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord thy God,
Because we didn't want to serve the Most High God, read.
with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Because the Most High God gave us everything. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
So we were going to have to serve our enemies, the other nations. You were going to have to serve the white man for what?
Which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger.
For food, you had to serve your enemy. For the food, for these, for Smart Saver, for KFC, you had to serve your enemies. Read.
And in thirst.
For water, you had to serve your enemies. If you don't pay your water bill, they come in to cut your water off. But this thing's what's coming for us, coming to us free from the Most High God. Now you have to pay for it from a person that hates your guts.
Right.
Read.
And in nakedness.
In clothing, you have to go to another nation to put clothes on your back, to clothe your children. You as men should be ashamed of that. To have to go to your enemy for everything. Read.
And in want of all things.
For a doctor, for a birth certificate, death certificate, education, you have to go to your enemy for that.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us, subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.